Welcome back to Dopes and Dragons, and today I'm going to give you a few one-shot ideas just to spice it up around the table. Sometimes even if you're a player down and you still want to run a session, you're like, what do we do, guys? Let's just run a one-shot. One-shots are a brilliant way just to get them characters that you've always wanted to play and are a bit can be too chaotic. You can just put them in a one-shot. So here are 5 one-shot ideas for you. Bada beam, bada boom. And the first one is Clockwork's Conspiracy. It's set in a town called Gearspring. Gearspring is run by automatons. It's a really cool mix and match of magic and machinery combined, where humans and automatons kind of live out in one serving the other until the automatons start to take over and start to wreak havoc in Gearspire. Why are they doing it? Well, there are rumors that there is a workshop underneath Clockwork. The players will be approached by a distressed artificer saying that he's the creator of Gearspire, a very old artificer. He's never programmed these creatures to ever become like that. And the more you dig into it, the more you find out that yes, he is right. So what is going on in Gearspire? Then you hear whispers of an underground workshop underneath Gearspire. You investigate to find a clockwork overlord, a sentient automaton that has been producing his own versions of himself to corrupt the rest of the automatons. And inside this automaton is an artifact of a mysterious entity. And I'm just going to leave it like that. The DM could then make his own story from this. You can picture back why he wants in it. And it's a cool little mystery of looking around Gearspire and just like going, what the heck? And even do a twist that it actually was the artificer all along. And he's just testing out new mechanics. You never know. But that's one shot of shit. The next one is a personal favourite of mine. It's called Feywild Masquerade. Your players get all an envelope, which is just not, you will have to make it more fantastical because it's from the Feywild, and make it a bit weird as well. So you could have the letters themselves be mimics that talk and then leave, and it would firstly be like, whoa, and it will also be like, wait, hold on, mimics not evil creatures, should not attack me. And it will have them kind of second guessing everything. And they're all invited to a masquerade ball in the Feywild. They have to go to a certain location and they will be teleported to this masquerade. While at this masquerade, they will meet many different people whom are different statures of different races. And then you'll hear, during the dance, you'll have a few talks with a few different NPCs. And then you'll hear a scream. And you'll be like, well, what's going on there? And people's shadows have been robbed. And it's up to the party to find out who's robbing the people's shadows at this masquerade. So the real villain of this are the Shadow Court. There are a group of NPCs who are actually from the Shadowfell who are taking these shadows and putting them themselves. So if the party find a member of the Shadow Court, make sure that you give them extra powers depending on how many shadows they've stole. And when the clock hits 12, because let's remember that time does go differently. When it hits 12, the party haven't found out who is taking shadows. And this is even up to the Shadow Court don't even notice that time starts again like Groundhog Day. And they're at the starting of the party, and then they can slowly start to watch who is doing what until they find out what's going on. I think this is amazing one-shot idea for just getting them quirky characters, a bit of a mystery, and a few combats can be with the Shadow Court. You can even add in this mysterious puppeteer who's actually behind the Shadow Court, who's getting them to come in, just have another big honcho background. And there's a few twists you can do with the one is the time warp. In the Feywild, time is not always as it seems, but you can also have one of the people who invited you here, the house court be a part of the shadow court, and he betrays the house court to get the shadow court in, and he is your key to getting in. I'll leave it up to your DM to decide who and what is, but hopefully this sparks it in your mind and you're like, oh yes, I'm loving this, I'm writing it down. And here are a few more one-shot ideas that I have done along the way. D&D one-shot ideas is for experienced role players. You arrive at the table, the DM hands you a sheet. The sheet is blank. Then the DM describes that you have awakened in the castle and you do not know who you are. And the only way you can find out who you are is by doing things. Passing skills will unlock your abilities. You say you want to attack with a sword, roll an attack, and the DM will tell you if you pass that, and then might give you it on your character sheet. It's an amazing way to be put on the spot and learn who you are as a character. And what I mean, you don't know nothing, I mean class, race, everything. You can look into, you have to find a mirror to see what race you are. And then you would see if you can cast spells. You know, how would you even know what magic is? It really puts experienced role players to the test. It was the best one shot I've ever done. Try it out, DMs. It's fun as hell. An Irish-inspired encounter for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, the Banshee's Lament. The village is in a state of mourning, plagued by a chorus from a grieving banshee. She dwells in a nearby ancient burial mound. The banshee's sorrowful cries have brought death to the village, causing the crops to wither, livestock to perish, and the villagers to fall ill. The villagers believe the banshee is seeking revenge and are searching for a way to appease her. Quote from one of the men from the village.
Like the weeping wings that carry the tales of sorrow, banshees embody the echoes of the forgotten tragedies in their eternal wails. A chilling reminder of life's fertility and the weight of the ancestral graft.
An encounter for D&D, the Cursed Quarry. The party must confront a blood hunter named Keel, who is tracking a dangerous supernatural creature, and decide whether to assist him or thwart his mission. As the party cautiously advances through the foreboding forest, you come across a clearing. In the center is which holding a massive stone quarry. At the quarry's edge stands a lone figure, cloaked in dark leather armor, adorned with symbols of blood magic. He wields a wicked-looking sword infused with crimson energy. This is Keel, the Blood Hunter. Keel senses your presence and turns to face you. His sharp red eyes lock onto yours. He speaks with a gravelly voice.
You are not my quarry. I seek, but perhaps you can be an assistance. A vile creature born of darkness and blood magic has been terrorizing these woods, and it must be stopped. Join me in the hunt, and I shall spare the spoils.
What would the party do? D&D one-shot ideas for experienced roleplayers. The big fat villain has decided to leave and head off on a much-needed holiday after defeating an adventuring party. In their absence, who's left in charge of the evil lair? The minions, of course. In this wacky one-shot, you and your friends can pick low-level monsters to look after the lair when the big boss is home. But what happens when a birthday or an unwelcome guest comes to the lair? Will these low-level monsters be enough to defend the lair from this unwanted guest? Or can they clean up the mess? This one-shot is good for players who want to play that evil character for once. The best way to describe this one-shot, it's a humorous and horror one-shot. Have fun with it, DM, and I hope you liked them. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell on.